bringing the good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every seam. It's the bigger love of the family.
Mammy! Happy! Get away from...
All right, Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant I swallow knickers come? No idea.
Okay. Hi. All right. Welcome back. I've been watching a lot of Three Stooges. In fact, it's been like a year already, I think, maybe. I guess I've been watching a lot of Three Stooges. See, my son, long story short, you can only show a child so much stuff, to fall asleep to until they get tired of watching whatever it is that they're watching. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of filling up my son's water, how's that plastic taste? Anyway, so I've been watching a lot of Three Stooges, and I grew up watching the Three Stooges a lot. I mean, Curly, Larry, Moe, even Shemp. And I didn't watch, Joe Dorita or whatever his name is, or Curly Joe. I just wasn't into it. Look at this. He looks like Kilroy. There you go, bud. All right. Now, I remember watching the Three Stooges on the Family Channel a lot, and just enjoying a whole hour of Stooges. And I think they only showed like 3 shorts or something like that, or I think it was like 2. I don't know. The commercial breaks irritated me because they were only 15-minute shorts. So to have a commercial break in or 2 of them, it was wild. And then I remember Leslie Nielsen hosted a university of sorts. It was like a parody of a university, the University of Yucks or something like that, where he teaches the students how to be the proper stooge. And I remember by doing so, he would introduce a short, or he would give hints as to what the short is going to be about. And then they would show it. And I think it went on for like 2 hours or something like that, 2 to 3 hours. Every Saturday morning, I'd wake up, and I remember watching that along with, the usuals, Batman, the animated series, X-Men, Eek the Cat, Animaniacs, what have you. So Saturday mornings was a thing, children. For those of you who are under 20, let me tell you something about Saturday morning cartoons. It was a thing instead of your fucking tablet. The Three Stooges, my son is enjoying them. He loves them so much to the point where he reenacts every short he can possible. I mean, it's so great to watch him doing the curly moves and to do all this stuff and, finishing sentences and all of this. He's kind of learning a little bit of some numbers. He's only 2. He's going to be 3 in like 5 months or so. No, wait, a little bit longer than that. I'm making time fly. So he turns 3 in March. And we are already gearing towards August. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, I had to use my fingers. 7 months. 7 more months until my son is 3 years old. And right now, at this point, he is already learning the basics. He understands what things are. He kind of already started to understand what the remote control can do. So when he wants to watch the which is TV, he hands me the remote. He knows what's up. He's a boy, so that also helps too. Men are better. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. For all of you people out there that are like, oh, fuck, I'm just flipping my phone. No, just chill out. You remember Homeward Bound? You remember that movie? Remember Sassy would always say, cats rolling Dog's drool. I miss those days. It was fun having the like male versus female rapport thing, you know? Nobody took it too seriously. We all had fun just giving each other shit. Everyone had thicker skin back then. What happened? What the hell happened to society? When did we become a bunch of fucking serious zeros in this world? Honestly. Anyway, so back to the Three Stooges. Nyah, nyah. Um, I love the Three Stooges. They are the original Jackass to me. And there's a channel on YouTube now that is ran by, I believe it's the grandchildren of the Three Stooges. And listen, I've been contemplating whether I wanted to do reviews of Stooge shorts. I don't really see a lot of people on YouTube doing it or anywhere else for that matter. Even on audio reviews and stuff like that, like on Spotify, like there is none. Nobody talks about the Three Stooges really, unless like something happens and you use a pop culture reference and all of that stuff. But other than that, I don't see any 20-something-year-old today uh, popping in and watching the Three Stooges, unless you grew up in a household where the Three Stooges is very much alive. Like myself, I am a kid of the 90s. I grew up in the 90s, which means that I was 10 years old in 1996. I wasn't 2 or 3 or 4. And I'm like, yeah, I was raised in the 90s. All right. Y'all need to stop that shit. Okay. You guys are Gen Z. Deal with it. I grew up in the 90s and I remember the Family Channel. This was before Fox took over the Fox family. It was just simply called the Family Channel, where they showed Batman from the '60s, the '60s Batman series. That's where I was introduced to. I think it was that channel where I was introduced to that show, or at least that's the first time I remember watching it on that channel. So the Three Stooges was aired on that, and I remember watching it continuously. Then my brother got the VHSs, and I remember watching those with him at the time. Growing up with him as a Stooge fan, it was fun. You get to reenact some things like that and all this stuff. So it was fun. It was great. So bringing my kid into this, into what I loved as a child growing up, it's amazing. It's great, you know what I'm saying? And I love the Stooges, so we always, both of us, we just kind of reenact and do a little bit of the light slaps and the pokes, and it's just harmless fun. But I could see why parents were so concerned in the 90s, even in the 80s. I've heard stories in the 80s, and these guys are long gone already. All right, so but the spirit is still alive, and they show these shorts everywhere. So it felt fresh to these kids, and these parents were like, oh my god, something from the 30s and 40s is influencing my kid to beat the shit out of his classmates. That's fucking awesome. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, not beating the shit out of your classmates, but I mean the fact that like something from like decades ago can have some sort of influence on what then was the current generation of kids. And so when I see my son going up to his sister, you know, wanting to do some Three Stooges shenanigans, I think I heard her one time going like, "Oh, you got that from the Three Stooges," and I'm sitting there like, "Man, it's good to feel this again." Because it's just, you know, it's just a sense of my childhood, you know. Like I remember even in the 90s, there was a problem. I remember a lot of us kids, see, us millennials, we were the last generation to enjoy shit before the tablet era became a thing, right? We grew up and we were like 12, 13, and the internet started to come out and form and do its thing, and we started to see the www.com thing going on. So we were like, huh, it's weird. So when that began in that era, we were kids that were growing up and watching all of this stuff in real time. Like, wow, we were there when the internet began. We were there when the turn of the century began in 2000. We were there for a lot of shit. So I feel so grateful that I was born in 1986. I got to see the 90s in real time. I remember it clearly. I was about 11, 96 going on, you know. So yeah, I was there. Uh while a lot of people who were just born in 96 and they sit there and tell us today, well, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up. No, fuck you didn't. Again, deal with it. You're Gen Z. Okay. And that's fine. Hey, look, I don't care what generation you are. Just be a kind human and be great. That's all. So with my generation in the 90s, we grew up uh, and closer to being teenagers, yes, there were parents that were still complaining about the Three Stooges. People were still like, hey, this thing from 1934, this is a problem now in 1997. And it's fun to go back and just be like, wow, I went through that. We will never see that again. I highly fucking doubt that there is an 11-year-old kid out there in the world who is influenced by a lot of slapstick comedy, and their parents are like, man, these Marx Brothers and these Three Stooges, we sure need to take this away from little Timmy here. Yeah, I named him Timmy. I don't know why. Timmy! But you get my point, okay? The Three Stooges are great. They will always be great. They will forever be amazing, and they will always be timeless. It'll be like the 25th century on this planet, and people will still watch the Three Stooges. People will understand and know who the Three Stooges were and still are. I just can't get into, anybody imitating them. I know they did a movie back in 2014, um, and those actors were great at portraying those characters, but it was like an imitation, and I wasn't into it. It didn't fly with me, but it was a very much of a love letter to the Three Stooges, from the way the format was and all of that. It was three shorts broken up, but it's like one big story that all comes together. I thought that was pretty cool. But the Three Stooges really, if you do the Three Stooges today, it's funny to say because that they are timeless. But if you took the Three Stooges today and you put them in a 2026 setting, it could work, but it you would have to be really talented in having to write and make it work and have us believe in that and have us crack up and just laugh and have fun with it. But if you try too hard to modernize things or to play with current stuff, it's really hard, man. That's a I wouldn't want that task, even if I was like one of the greatest comedians in the world and one of the greatest writers also. I don't think I would be able to do that. The Three Stooges, they put a stamp in this world. They put a stamp in the comedy genre. They are the original Jackass. I believe you wouldn't get Jackass today or a lot of slapstick comedy today if it wasn't for the Three Stooges. And if you don't believe me, if you think that it's just something that's a little too exaggerated or whatever, go and watch the Three Stooges. I dare you to watch episodes 1 through 10, at least those. You would have a great time. I'm telling you. I don't see anyone sitting there going like, this is dumb and I don't want to watch this. This is so bad for my health. It's great. It's great fun. You're not supposed to take it seriously. And my favorite stuff from the Three Stooges is like when you see someone fall like tons of stories high and they're just like, wow, you could tell they're dummies. And that's the great thing about the Three Stooges, that they understand. They understand what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's great. I love it. And it's bittersweet at times throughout their story. Curly, he went through a lot of shit, man. This guy, he was at the top of his game. Money came in, got a taste of that flavor, drank a lot, got a stroke, had another stroke, couldn't film Three Stooges anymore, so they had to get their other brother Shemp to come in and replace him. But little did people know, Shemp was the original Stooge before Curly stepped in, so he came right in and just threw his flavor onto the ground, and Shemp made it his own. Shemp wasn't a Curly copycat or anything like that. He was like his own character. He had his own shtick, and it works with the other two. And it's just great to watch the three of them as well. As much as Curly, Curly had his own thing, but Shemp was also another entity on his own. And there's so many great Shemp episodes. I really wasn't open to the dude until recently. I watched a lot of his episodes, and I'm like, this guy's actually pretty fucking funny, and I'm enjoying this shit. And so, unfortunately, I believe it's from like 1946 or 47 to 1952 or 53. Shemp died just sitting in the car with a cigar still. He dropped it and it was on his lap, smelled like smoke. People in the car were like, yo, what's that smell? He died. He had a heart attack in the car. So then they had to replace Shemp with this other guy who was absolutely not funny. Funny in other things, talented in other things. And that's where his strengths were at. His weakness, unfortunately, was within the Three Stooges. He tried to turn the Three Stooges into something that it's not, and it didn't work. And then once he was gone, then this other guy came in named Joe, but they called him Curly Joe because he was bald, he was fat, he kind of looked like Curly. So they were like, I guess he's kind of close to the real thing, I guess. So we'll just call him Curly Joe. And you know, I, I wasn't into the era after Shemp. Anything after Shemp, they just kind of lose me. I think Mo and Larry are so fucking talented that they could have just done their own thing by themselves, just them two after Shemp. Larry is great. He's just great at reacting to things. Every time there is something happening, he's never the guy that's in the background. He's never the guy that's in the background. Larry is the dude that is all of us. He's the audience. And that's what was great about it. It's the genius writing of that. I don't know if that was intentional or accidental, but that's what it is. And then occasionally Larry would say something, but in whatever, or cause the take the issue and make it worse. Or he has this idea in his head, it sounds great, but his execution is poor as shit, just like in the Plumbing We Will Go episode. So it's just so many things that that's great about Larry, and I feel like he doesn't get enough love like Mo, Curly, and Shem. Mo is the leader, he's the ringleader, but he's also a dumbass at times, but he keeps a good poker face, and that's what I love about Mo. And he just has the best lines. And Curly is just, without a doubt, Curly is just insane, uh, just mischievous. He's just great. He's funny. He says this most smart ass shit. And sometimes, just sometimes, he'll fucking slap Mo back and be like, "Listen, it's great. I love it. It's just the dynamic between all of them is fantastic. I think it's something that a lot of people in comedy should go back and watch to kind of remind themselves not to take shit too seriously, or all of these comedians who are just out there preaching to the world and trying to change everyone's views on politics on Facebook, Margaret Cho, and go back and watch what is actually funny. What is comedy? Here's a little lesson in comedy. Watch the Three Stooges. I don't think these guys were preaching about, vaccines, and if you like this president, then you're categorized in this, so you must be a piece of shit or whatever. They were good human beings. They were terrific performers. And as far as like acting, now this is the Three Stooges. We don't really watch the Three Stooges for their acting. However, yes, their acting is superb in comedy. Knowing the little quips and the little things that they do, it's so natural, and that's what made them so real to people. That's what made them so down to earth, and why people connected to them was because they were great actors. They put on performances that when they weren't doing their shtick in the episode, they were putting on their character, and you believed that they were their character. Because if you look at Mo Howard in his interviews and you look at Mo in the Three Stooges, two completely different people. And I was like, holy shit. So give it a chance, give it a shot. If you've never watched the Three Stooges, or if your kids haven't, please, please, I urge you to show them that. Or if you're sitting there at home bored right now, like you are right now, hey, finish this video, but then go back and watch the Three Stooges. Watch the Three Stooges. Watch episodes 1 through 10. My favorite would have to be like episodes 1 through 40. It's like their beginning, the at their peak. They were always peak, but this specific era, this time period, these episodes, they were just great. My favorite episode of the Three Stooges is Pop Goes the Easel. Pop Goes the Easel. You've got greats like Hoi Polloi, Punch Drunks, Men in Black. They're great. They're all like literally the ones that I've just named were like the first era. Uh, there's one where Pardon My Scotch. That's another episode that I love. They're just all great. I love them. Uh, there's one that I just got done watching. I think it's like Slippery Silks or something like that, where they are handymen, carpenters of sorts, and long story short, this guy comes in with like this tiny ancient, Chinese cabinet. It's like worth thousands of dollars. I mean, it's like it's worth a lot of money, and there's only one. He takes it to them so he can get a duplicate version of that, and they fuck it up. They destroy it, they cut it in half, and then they get caught by the guy, they run, and then little did they know that the police are outside about to go to their job because they want to tell them like, hey, look, your uncle passed away. He left you this boutique shop where they do women's fashion. So they inherited that. So you got the Three Stooges in charge of a boutique shop. And it's just great to watch these guys who build cabinets and drawers make dresses. And then there's like this fashion show that happens, and you see all these beautiful dresses from all these designers and everything, and then comes theirs. And then you see this woman coming out with a cabinet dress. And look, as funny as it sounds, it looked pretty fucking cool. It was fucking awesome. It's not something you wear on the street, but she's got this big giant dress, and then she pulls the cabinet forward. She grabs a little thing, and she's doing her little makeup. She puts it back in the drawer and closes it. And it's funny, it's subtle, it's great. I love it. It wasn't so over the top in that moment because they were really being serious. Like, hey, this is the dress that we made because the guy. There's a moment where Larry, he's like, I don't know anything about women's fashion, and then Mo's like, well, you designed furniture, didn't you? And he's like, what's that got to do with it? And he's like, it's the same thing. The crazier they look, the more people will buy them. And it's great. I love it. It's just fantastic. I love the Three Stooges. There was a while where I wasn't watching them, and just all this stuff happening. So it's just great to go back and revisit the boys.
I knew it. I didn't put enough rat poison in this cheese.
Yeah. What's the idea?
What does he think I am, a rat?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, you don't have to tell everybody. Serves you right.
You started everything.
Oh, I can't see. I can't see.
What's the matter?
I got my eyes closed.
Oh, spread out.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic here. Spider-Man, brand new day. It's coming out this Friday. I will see it, whatever it takes. Spider-Man comes out this weekend. The reviews are in, and now look, unlike a lot of things in Hollywood, when there's a Spider-Man movie that comes out, it's huge. It's a big deal. Spider-Man is pretty much Marvel's Batman. So when there's a Spider-Man feature film about to come out, it's like an event, okay? And so what's great about this to me is that you've got I mean, we've already have Tobey Maguire, we've got Andrew Garfield, and now Tom Holland. Tom Holland, a lot of people love Tom Holland. A lot of people do. I like him. I like him a lot. He's really cool. But he doesn't have the greatest Spider-Man films. Like, they're not that good. Spider-Man Homecoming, to me, was a massive disappointment, a massive letdown for me personally. That wasn't Spider-Man to me. Spider-Man was there. Peter Parker was there. But he wasn't the Peter Parker that I knew. He wasn't the Peter Parker that I grew up watching, reading about, all of this stuff. Peter Parker, to me, is the guy or the kid in high school who made his own suit a couple of times. He made a rough-looking one as his, for his first outing. But then he made his main one, his Spider-Man outfit. He made that shit. And because of that, he's just got cartridges, a spandex suit, and he goes out and saves crime. I mean, he goes and protects people in the neighborhood. And what Spider-Man Homecoming did was they took all of that, swept it under the rug, and said, we can do better. So we got Tony Stark creating his suit. Now, in Civil War, it made sense for Tony Stark in that moment, that day, to create something to go fight the Avengers. He took a 15-year-old kid to Germany to go fight Captain America. Totally understandable. But then when you get to Spider-Man's first feature film, which I have to say, in Civil War, to me, I've said this, you guys have heard, if you guys follow me, that is the best version of Tom Holland's Spider-Man we will ever see, and I have seen so far. I haven't seen Brand New Day yet, but to me, to get a 2-hour version of that Peter Parker with his Queen's accent and all of that stuff. Yes, he had his Queen's accent, something that he dropped during the films. When you watch Civil War, that there, every bit of dialogue, every little piece of Peter, every little piece of Spider-Man that you see in that fucking movie for the little short window of time that he was in, that was the best Tom Holland Spider-Man anything I've ever seen. That little window of Spider-Man beats Spider-Man 2 for me. That little window beats Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, all of his films. It's like a wonderful short film. And it's the best version of Spider-Man we'll ever get. I wanted to see that in Homecoming. We didn't get that in Homecoming. You know what we got instead? We got a kid who says his name is Peter Parker, who doesn't have a Queens accent, but lives in Queens, and has a suit that's Stark technology. There is nothing remotely Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a kid in a Spider-Man outfit that was created by Tony Stark. It just didn't feel like Peter Parker to me. If you guys grew up reading the comics, read the comics, love the comics, bleed Spider-Man, you all know what I'm talking about. It's not something I have to kind of like dissect. Okay. And I know a lot of fans out there liked that idea of Tony Stark making Spider-Man suit and all that. But when he made the Iron Spider outfit at the end of Homecoming, I went, beggars please. Okay. Okay. That's what I wanted to say was get the fuck out of here with that shit. All right. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is like Batman's suit is like the suits created by Kryptonian technology in his first film. So anyway, wasn't crazy about that, but I get why they made the Iron Spider outfit was so that he could go to space in Avengers Infinity War. And I mean, like, okay, cool, fine. I'm pretty sure there's 1,000 other avenues that you all could have handled that situation, but hey, whatever, what do I know? So with Spider-Man Far From Home, a lot of people dogged on that sequel because Europe? I don't understand. That was more of a Spider-Man movie to me than Homecoming. It has lots of problems though. Lots of problems. There's things I did not like about. I watched that movie recently after not having seen it since it came out, like in what, 2019 or something like that. So I haven't watched it since. I just watched it like last week. It's got problems, but it doesn't have the amount of problems that I have with Homecoming. So you got to choose your poison, I guess you could say. Except Far From Home was more Spider-Man by himself, doing Spider-Man things, having Spider-Man fun. You know, he wasn't overshadowed by Iron Man. You know, and I love Iron Man. Don't get me wrong, I love Iron Man, but I wouldn't want to see a Flash movie where Batman is his mentor. As much as I fucking love Batman. Give me some Batman all day. But if I see a Flash movie where the Flash can't even be Flash because he needs Bruce Wayne to make his suit for him, and then all this stuff, which, oh fuck, I could see that actually happening. Holy shit, I didn't think about that. My God, it's James Gunn we're talking about. But yeah, I could see that happening, and it's fucking stupid. That's exactly what that's what this is like, you know. But look, I'm not comparing Spider-Man and Flash. The fucking Spider-Man is light years better than the Flash. Okay, not putting the Flash down, but I got to for my boy over here. Okay, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Okay, dude, are you really gonna fucking ask me that? Okay, so with Spider-Man Far From Home, I kind of liked it. I thought it was okay. I was like, shit, this is a fun film. Why? Because he's by himself. It's Spider-Man. And I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie was fun to watch. I didn't have as much fun watching it the first time, but this time I'm sitting there watching Jake Gyllenhaal and I'm like, dude, Mysterio's fucking cool, man, in this movie. Yeah, sure, he's a little whacked out a little bit in compared to the comics, but in this, you know, he was a pissed off ex-employee of Tony Stark. He got a bunch of ex-employees of Stark Industries to follow him and take the device that Tony made in Civil War and use that. And he fought Spider-Man with it. And I thought it was so cool watching all the visuals and all of the things that Spider-Man did, you know, with those illusions and shit. I mean, that shit was awesome as fuck, man. I loved it. Not too many people talk about it. I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, why don't people talk about this fucking movie a lot? This is a Spider-Man movie. There's no Tony Stark in this. You got Nick Fury, but he's a little smudge of it, but it's a Spider-Man movie. It's fun. It's great. You should check it out. Then, of course, there's No Way Home, which is, no question, his best one. His best one. But there were things in that movie, even for myself, that when I watch it, I'm like, fuck, there's problems in this movie. I watched it recently, right after Far From Home. And I'm like, God damn it, there's problems in this movie. I didn't want to find any because I remember watching it the first time. I think my review's on this channel. I remember watching it the first time and I was like, this movie's perfect. This movie's great. I loved it. There's nothing wrong with this. And then I watched it. I went, oh yeah, there's problems with this film. But ultimately, it doesn't outweigh the good. Willem Dafoe, Willem Dafoe, Willem freaking Dafoe. Willem Dafoe coming back to coming back to Spider-Man in the MCU, taking out Aunt May, the Disney MCU Aunt May. It's fucking awesome. I love it. For someone like myself who was 14 years old watching the first Spider-Man in the theater, and I loved Green Goblin. I loved him even more so of the fact that I hated the look watching the behind the scenes stuff on the internet, looking at set photos. You know, I remember going on Coming Soon, or one of those websites back in the day before they got weird. And I remember they used to post like set photos, and I remember seeing the Green Goblin, looking at the comments, and it was like, yeah, I agree. It looks like the fucking Power Ranger villain or something. It was weird. It was stupid. And then you watch the movie and you get the context, and you're like, of course this guy would make a suit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to make us a spandex suit out of it. But then I realized, I was like, wait a minute. How cooler would have been if he would have been like Jekyll and Hyde, you know, in that movie. His face morphs and shit into the Green Goblin. But look, for the movie and the context, yeah, it's Oscorp. He made a suit, you know, to flow with the glider so he could, you know, do his thing. I liked it a lot, and it grew on me. And now I'm 40 years old. I don't care. I like it a lot. You want to know why? Because shit today sucks. That it gave me perspective. That, hey, we had it great, and you know something? It's over now. So with Willem Dafoe, I enjoyed him coming back to the MCU, and the fact that, like I said, I'm not like, you know, I don't hate Aunt May or anything like that, but it's like a flavor of my childhood, you know, of my teenagehood came in and stomped onto the MCU. You know, your Gen fucking Alpha, you know, generation that's gonna call this theirs. You know, like my Aunt May is my Uncle Ben. Fuck you, Uncle Ben and Aunt May were a thing, man. All right. And you've got Disney trying to tell Sony, well, look, how about we make Marissa Tomei our Uncle Ben? Okay. So it's uh, see, in my brain, Tom Holland's Spider-Man had an Uncle Ben. Because in Far From Home, I saw that little luggage he had, and it had Ben Parker's initials on that. Who the fuck's Ben Parker? No, that was his uncle. The one that Aunt May never talks about. And she was flirting with Tony Stark shortly after, within the same year that his uncle died, because he's sitting there on the couch with her, and she's like, hey, And it's implied because Peter in Civil War was like, this. It was like 6 months ago that he got bit by the spider. You know what I'm saying? So let's give or take a few weeks there, and then Uncle Ben dies and all this stuff. So I don't know. And if Disney's like, well, he never had an Uncle Ben, then it's going to be like, yeah, of course he didn't. It's fucking Disney. But I'm so glad Spider-Man is still with the Sony property. See, I worked with this guy who was trying to tell me, he was like, oh man, if they just gave Spider-Man to Disney, man, Disney would do something amazing and do something better than Sony. Let me tell you something right now, okay? That is the most retarded shit. This is the same guy who also said The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie. So I wouldn't even trust you with directions to the fucking bathroom, okay? But Disney doesn't make decisions for Spider-Man. Sony does. And Sony is like, hey, we're going to do this. And Disney's like, no. And how about we do this instead? And they're like, okay, we could settle for that. Because if Disney were to have 100% complete control of Spider-Man, there is no Ben Parker. There's only Aunt May. She's a single mom, single woman who's going to be a mom, surrogate mother to Peter. She's so strong and powerful. She's great. She's amazing at everything. In fact, she's so amazing that when she died, she came back from the dead. The Aunt Spider, I don't fucking know. Like they would do so many retarded things with Spider-Man. I'm so happy that they don't have full control. And people want to throw like, well, they fucked up the the Spider-Verse and shit, except the 2 animated films. It's always that. Except the 2 animated films. Yes. Into the Spider-Verse is fantastic. The sequel is fantastic. Everything else has been shit. But here's the thing that Sony can do. We screwed up. We'll just start over again. We got Madam Web, masterpiece. Like the masterpiece I leave in the toilet after I eat a couple of burritos. Back to Spider-Man. No Ben Parker for Tom Holland. We had so many great things in No Way Home. But like I said, it's a very flawed film. I loved the fact at the time that they were going to get rid of MJ and Ned. I was like, cool, can we just get rid of these fuckers? Can we just move past them, please? And just get Harry, MJ, or Gwen, all these characters that happen to be white. Oh my God. Oh well, we can't get them. You know why? Because we need progression in our Spider-Man movies. So we need Zendaya in this movie. We need Ned in this film. Peter's not allowed to have any white people in his movie. Oh, even Flash Thompson, even the fucking bully is not even a fucking white dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, I don't give a shit. I really don't. It's just funny to point at. I can live with the race changes and shit like that, but just keep in mind, people like myself, we can live with it. We could definitely live with it. Fuck, it's not even a thought. But we sit and think about it. It's fucking hilarious because we all know what you fucking studios are trying to do. So there's that. So we got Spider-Man Brand New Day. And, we got the Punisher in there, which kind of worried me a little bit because I love the Punisher. I love the Punisher series. I love season 1. Season 2 is all right. It's all right. Yeah, I'm scared of the Punisher being in this movie, but I'm hearing good things. I mean, okay, let me take that back. I don't hear any bad things, but I don't hear anyone in the reviews going like, man, John Berthel's the Punisher. Here we go. But going back to me getting rid of Ned and MJ, because that's more fun to talk about, but I didn't finish my thought, so here it goes. At the end of No Way Home, when Doctor Strange says, hey, everyone's going to forget about you, I was like, fuck, yeah, that means we can get rid of these two fucks. We could get to Peter's actual friends from the comics. you know, from the source material. The shit, can we just fucking go old school, please? Can we? Is that so hard? Is that going to be really difficult? Oh my God, a redhead. Well, y'all casted a redhead, Sadie Sink, who we all thought, shit, they're fucking finally doing it. Good on you, Disney Marvel. Fuck, man. I was going to lose faith in you, which I did, but you got me. And no, they were like, she's not MJ. She's Jean Grey, which is like the worst fucking kept secret in Hollywood history right now. But she's not MJ. She's not Mary Jane. No MJ. So who's going to be the MJ? Zendaya. But I thought she doesn't remember. Yeah, but she's got star power, and we need her back. And Peter just can't have white people in his life. We need to diversify his life because we don't like Spider-Man. So what me and my compatriots here are doing is we're trying to make Spider-Man something it's not. But as long as you keep the suit and the name Spider-Man, we can still sell. You feel me? You feel me? Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me? Okay. No, you couldn't do that. They couldn't get a proper Mary Jane Watson, not Michelle Jones. If they were so confident in Zendaya, then why the fuck did they give her MJ? Like, that's why I think these people don't really care for the comic book, because if you did, you wouldn't name her MJ. You would name her Michelle Jones. What's wrong with Michelle? Look, think about all the Michelles out there that are like, wow, you just reduced my name into a letter. We can't get Mary Jane Watson. We can't get a Gwen Stacy. Fucking hell. We can't even get a fucking Harry Osborn. I just want a proper adaptation. That's all. No one cares if they're fucking. Okay, if you're going to sit here and tell me, Josh, why does it matter if they change the race? Okay, well, why'd they change it? I'm not the only one that could checkmate you on a question like that. Okay, I see other people out there, they have the same questions out there, like, why change it? 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 And they never answer that question. Instead, they just deflect and call us bigots. Bigots. And this is when I say gatekeeping is okay. Remember when a bunch of feminists in like the 2016, 17, 18 era, feminists, male feminists, fake nerds, indie folk musicians out there who hang out with comic book nerd girls. Therefore, now they're a comic book nerd and they know everything about comics. Those people will sit here and cheer this kind of shit on because they don't know. They're uneducated. They're idiots. They don't understand what a proper adaptation means. But anyway, that's besides the point. I could go into a full-fledged Odyssey rant right now if I want to, but I'm not going to because I don't care about the Odyssey, to be honest with you. I saw the movie. It came and went. I got over it. I don't give a fuck if Zendaya's in it. I don't give a fuck if Helen of Troy is black. Okay? I don't care. You know why? Because I don't care. And that's the beauty of not caring, is I don't care. But I understand. That's a thing. I understand why people want a proper adaptation. But if people don't like it, let them not like it as much as they are letting you shill over it. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, so Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's check out these reviews, shall we? Because unlike Avengers Endgame, okay, it's literally it's not really the ass kissing fest that needs to happen. These are just genuinely good movies and people enjoy them. So, all right. So I'm going to read from Sean Bowman. It says here, Spider-Man Brand New Day is not only my least favorite of the Tom Holland Spidey films, but one of the worst movies of the MCU as a whole. It's tremendously ugly with atrocious CGI and unintelligible action, and the emotional beats are hokey. A big disappointment. Oh. Okay. All right. So this one's from Brian J. Rohn. Unsurprised that Spider-Man Brand New Day isn't getting great reviews, but I am surprised so many of the reviews themselves are written so poorly. Okay. This movie did something to people. That and some high visibility critics are also just bad. Okay. All right. Let's see. Fandom Wire says Spider-Man Brand New Day. Spider-Man Brand New Day is described as a major disappointment that fails to live up to the expectations surrounding Tom Holland's Spider-Man return. The review criticizes the film for its forced emotional moments, weak storytelling choices, and poor visual effects that significantly impact the overall experience. Whew. Despite having the potential to continue Peter Parker's journey in an exciting direction, the movie struggles to deliver the emotional depth and cinematic quality seen in previous installments. The review considers it one of the weakest entries in the MCU and a disappointing chapter in Holland's Spider-Man saga. Holy fuck. And he gave it a 5. Whew. All right. Those are the reviews that I'd rather listen to. You know why? Because they're honest. All right. Matt Nando Kelly. I just want to punch his face already. Listen, he says. Spider-Man Brand New Day is my new favorite Spider-Man movie. It is it is absolutely incredible. Looks gorgeous, writing is sharp, performances are excellent. I was smiling the entire time, even teared up. I am shocked at how good this is. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Apologize for the quietness. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think it might be the best Tom Holland Spider-Man. Tom Holland is surprisingly good when he takes off the mask. Zendaya is great. The writing is fine. Cinematography and directing are way better than most MCU movies. Okay, but how's the fucking movie though? Um, all right. Let's actually get into Variety. All right. Variety. Spider-Man Brand New Day review. Tom Holland returns in a mature, but arduous adventure that, for all its good action, is trying too hard. Our hero become a blah blah blah. Okay, let's actually read the article here. Let's actually talk about the review. Okay, in movies, superheroes don't tend to want for company. They organize themselves into leagues and squads and dynamic duos. They've got fans in every corner of the metropolis, as well as some pretty major significant others. Um, Even Batman, the nihilist Avenger, snaps back to being Bruce Wayne, the social butterfly. But in Spider-Man Brand New Day, Peter Parker has become a workaholic crime fighter, driven but isolated. We see him nab a slew of villains with sticky web precision, then head back to the corroded New York attic apartment where he lives like a hermit, surrounded by computer screens, tinkering with electromagnetic devices that are designed to hone and focus his powers. All right. But what do they think of the movie? Just going to read the last piece of this review here. This is literally what the review is. Destin Daniel Cretin, I don't know, stages the Spidey action with a clever, leaping grandeur that delivers what these movies need to. Brand New Day is destined to make a boatload of money, but when it comes to the primal appeal of Peter Parker, the high-flying web shooter lover boy, and his red and blue spandex, this is a series that will not quit. You can appreciate that the filmmakers tried to serve up something besides the same old connect the multiverse dots adventure, but Brand New Day is watchable without ever being transporting. All right. So that's a pretty good review. Not overwhelmingly great, but you know, people have seen it. Now, I watched Chris Gore. Uh, Chris Gore is a movie critic, podcaster. Uh, he's a film goer, loves movies. Um, and I honestly, he's somebody that I, along with Jeffrey K. Howard, Joshua Randall, whose opinions I take, that I listen to, and I don't let them hinder my expectations or anything, as you should. Um, and what Chris Gore was saying was that it was it was the least of his favorite. It wasn't that great of a movie. He had problems with it. Um, and the one major issue is, and this is not a spoiler or anything, is that, and I've noticed this in like other reviews that I've read before I heard Chris's, is that Spider-Man doesn't really have an identity here. And that's a problem, because if the character is still latched onto the past, it can't let that go. Now, I get it. That's the theme of this film, maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. But the whole point of this entire film was that we were never going to see Zendaya and Jacob, what's his face, who plays Ned, ever again in these films. My major issue with this in the reviews and going into this movie is that I wanted to see Peter Parker be on his own, have his own identity as Spider-Man. He knows what he's here for. He knows what he has to do. He knows what he has to avoid. He's not still hung up on MJ, his friends, looking at social media and shit, which is kind of creepy. No Way Home was a way to get away from that, to create Peter moving on and having the life he deserves. Now, when Peter leaves the little coffee shop and sees Ned and MJ, Michelle, talking with each other, and they don't remember Peter, what's great and brilliant about that scene was that there was no words. You just see in Tom Holland's performance as he's looking at them, he knows that they're going to be okay. At the time watching that film, I was like, oh, this is good. I'm excited because I'm like, if we're going to get rid of these two forever in a Spider-Man movie, fuck yeah, let's go. I'm for it. And those two, coincidentally, in that movie, No Way Home, they were useful. I actually liked them in that. They were likable characters. I actually liked MJ in that movie. I was like, wow, she has purpose. She serves purpose, and she's not annoying. His friend was funny, charming, and not annoying. They served purpose. And then understanding what their roles are in here, I was like, oh, fuck, man. We're never going to get Harry and Mary Jane. We're never going to get Gwen Stacy. We're never going to get any of those things like we know in the comics and the cartoon, all that stuff. Nothing. Nothing. It's sad. It really is sad because Spider-Man has such a rich universe. And it's just like, God, you guys are literally just handcuffing this character to do nothing. It's just so weird. I don't know. So I was hoping that Brand New Day would be a chance for a Zendaya-less, a Ned-less film. It's been years. He's moved on, you know. Uh, but fuck. So I'm gonna go into this movie still excited. I'm excited to see The Punisher. I'm excited to see not Mark Ruffalo, but I want to see Hulk. I think the Hulk is fun. The Incredible Hulk. I'm so happy that Mark Ruffalo didn't do any press for this movie. I don't know who told him not to do so. I don't know if that was his decision or whatever. Smart move. Smart move. Smart move. Lord Almighty, smart move. So, all right. Woo, I can see it's getting a little darker. It's getting a little nice and intimate here. Come on board. Come on board here in this corner where there's nowhere to go. Well, I've got these guys, Shadow and Daisy. Their spirits live on. Folks, there's a little movie coming out in 2028 in the month of February, 10 days after my birthday, called The Batman Part 2. I sounded like John Campea there. There's a little movie coming out. Maybe, just maybe.
Woke.
Guy's a dipshit. Anyway, yeah. So comes out 10 days after my birthday, The Batman Part 2. There's no news about The Batman Part 2 right now, except that they're filming it. So with that being said, I want to talk about the Penguin series, a show that I never got to talk about here with you guys. I just got done watching all 8 episodes again, and I have to say, it's better the second time. It's better the second time, or maybe this is the third time. I'm not sure. I remember watching it like twice. I want to say it was in no. Besides the point. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Watching every episode, I felt like I was going into a new, like I've never seen it before. And there was moments that I forgot about that happened at the end, especially moments with this character named Vic, who brought the cavalry to ambush a certain character at the end. I loved it. Colin Farrell, man. Holy shit. Colin Farrell. If this, look, gone are the days where they actually look at performances and go, fuck yeah, that was good. Give that man the reward. But they don't. It's all about if you're a person of color or if you're a marginalized person who happens to be an actor or if you say the right things or they're just biased. It's really not really about talent. Go figure. So it's like honest criticism. You can't give honest criticism about anything because if you do, then you'll be labeled as something instead of just giving your honest, thoughtful, constructive criticism. Nope. You don't like it? You're this. If you don't like it, we're blaming you. We're blaming the paying customer. Bunch of fucking fruit cakes in fucking Hollywood making these weird decisions. So out of touch with society and business that us folks, we're like aliens to these people. So of course we're to blame. If we don't like it, it's our fault. Anyway, Matt Reeves executive produced the show, The Penguin, who is directing The Batman Part 2. He also directed The Batman. Colin Farrell is absolutely brilliant. And listen, I cannot go on with this review if I don't know her name. Here, talk amongst yourselves, or play with your dog, or talk to your kid, or just sit there and look at me. But Sophia Falcone in the Penguin series, ruthless character. Let me see. Kristen Milotti. I hope I'm saying that right. She is brilliant as fuck in that show. I love Sophia Falcone, who changes her last name to Gigante, because she wants to not be linked to her father's legacy whatsoever. So, and that is a major part of the storyline. This is such a great series, and it's such a great bridge between the Batman and the Batman Part 2. Unfortunately, the movie's been delayed again to February 2028. However, unlike before, they're actually filming it right now. So hopefully they give us a movie that has lots of quality. I want something that is very much like the Penguin series. I thought the Penguin series is a better thing than the Batman. Not that I dislike the Batman, but the third act of that film, man, that should have been saved for a second movie. Other than that, that movie was pretty good. Wasn't great. It ain't no fucking Dark Knight. It ain't no fucking Batman Begins. But it's pretty good. But the Penguin is just so much better. The writing, the characterization. I mean, it's a character study of Oswald Cobb, and who's played by Colin Farrell. And it's so interesting to see how this character went from just this a driver to somebody who is given more responsibility and like owning a club, picking up, product, all this stuff. And then this dude, Carmine Falcone, who is the biggest crime boss in Gotham, he gets killed by the Riddler. Now there's this power vacuum in Gotham. Sal Maroni, who is the head of the other family that the Falcones are against, is in prison. So everyone is just like itching to get a taste of that power. And so Oswald he's all over it. And sometimes he's like 2 steps ahead, sometimes he's 2 steps back. I mean, it's such a fantastic show. It's a show that has tension. It's one of those. You remember one of those shows that you love watching? It has a lot of tension, makes your palms sweaty. You're kind of like weak knees, arms red. I mean, sorry, just a mom spaghetti moment here, having an 8 Mile flash. But no, in all seriousness, you ever watch those shows that make your fingers and palms all sweaty? That you're like, oh my god, this is fucking good, man. I gotta watch the next episode. This is one of those shows. This show is directed well. The performances are great. The writing is just top notch. I mean, you've got a lot here that it's all the ingredients to a great binge-worthy show. And I'm not talking about it's just content to just keep you by. No, this is quality writing. And the last shot of this show, not going to say anything about it for those of you who have never seen it, but the last shot of this show, come on, is chef's kiss. I was like, yep, this person needs to take down this person now, because that's what this show does. It's like it makes you root for what's to come. I fucking love this show. And I recommend this show to anybody, even if you're not a Batman fan and you just love good drama, good thrills, good action. I mean, this show is great. You forget you're watching a show that takes place in Gotham City. They never mentioned Batman once, really. They don't remind you that, hey, there's a guy in a bat suit that's around here somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, they don't do that shit. It's very still like the early days of Batman, but you see the climate of the mob, in this universe. And it's like, fuck, man, this is so dirty. I love it. Arkham Asylum is scary. It's just so unsettling. It's gross. And everything that happens in there with Sophia's character and all that stuff, it's great. And the one thing that I always think about in the back of my head is, how great would it be? A disturbing show like this, dark and gritty films like The Batman, and I'm pretty sure The Batman Part 2 is going to be even darker. Rumor has it it's going to be rated R, because the Penguin series is very R rated. How is this going to work if it joins the DCU? You know? Like if it, look, there's people out there that are like, oh, I don't want it to join the D. It's too dark. It's too different. When people say like, Superman's a little too bright and Batman's way too dark, this wouldn't work. Yet tell me you've never seen a World's Finest comic without telling me you've ever seen a World's Finest comic. That is the whole fucking point of Batman and Superman, is that you got a James Gunn Superman aesthetic with that actor playing Superman. You got all that shit going on with the Justice League and everything's so bubblegum pop. And then you get to the Batman where it's everything the opposite. That's the whole point. The light and the dark. And when you put them two in a movie together, imagine the fucking the amount of cum that flies out of nerds' pants everywhere in this world. It'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. It'll be fucking brilliant. It would be such a smart idea. The fact that this is not even in motion, or if they're doing this thing where they're like, well, we're just waiting for Clayface to come out so these fuckers can stop talking about this. And then going into Man of Tomorrow, knowing that the Batman universe is integrated into the DCU. Like, you see David Cornsweet, just remember his Gotham City and his Batman is Rob Pattinson in that Gotham. That Gotham. The one that Penguin runs. Why would you not want that? Why? Why would you not want that? Why? Why, James Gunn? James Gunn is so fucking retarded. Like so retarded. Like I'm trying to figure out like retarded square root, like the fucking math. Retarded. Just because he's James Gunn and he made Guardians of the Galaxies 1, 2, and 3 doesn't mean he's the be all end all of comic book movies. This dude should not be in charge of comic books, comic book properties, comic book characters. I don't understand this obsession with people going, well, it's James Gunn. James Gunn knows. No, he fucking doesn't. The dude is a one-trick fucking pony, okay? It's just everyone is too scared to come out and say it because Guardians was such a cool fucking movie, bro. Yeah, it was. Guardians 1 was great. Guardians 2 was shit. Guardians 3 was okay. Super was pretty good. The Suicide Squad was kind of shit. Peacemaker Season 1, it's kind of shit. Peacemaker Season 2 is atrocious garbage. Superman, directed by James Gunn. Now, I don't look, if you like this movie, great. I don't care. That's fine. To each their own, okay? But you can't sit there and tell me that this is the movie. This one, this fucking movie is the one to start the DCU. That's like okay. Let me give you an example of where my brain's at, okay, folks? Not a lot of people like Superman 3 with Richard Pryor. I like it. I like it as much as James Gunn's Superman. Is that fair? Yeah? If y'all seen Superman 3 with Richard Pryor and you like Superman directed by James Gunn, you're probably looking at me like, bro, dude, really? How are you going to compare this and that? It's the same shit. There's stupid comedy in it, in both films. Both movies have moments. Both movies have the same vibe. It's just one has better CGI than the other. And you've got a really cool scene in Superman 3 between two Supermans that fight in a junkyard. It's like Superman fighting himself. The evil version of himself is fighting the good version. That part was so cool. That part was way too good to be in that silly ass movie. You know what I mean? And with James Gunn's Superman, look, I hate to reiterate something that like thousands, maybe if not millions of people already echoed here on this platform. Yeah, you got people who like it and you got people who don't. I don't. I only like the movie because of what it does for my son. It's pretty much it. To be honest with you, I like it for that reason only. Other than that, I just don't care. So if you bring in the Batman universe, you got the Penguin, you've already got an established Bat universe in this DCU, you've got money, you've got billion-dollar box office gold waiting for you, and it's just they're not doing it. They're not doing it. So I don't get it. I don't want to get it because it's stupid. So, but yeah, for those of you who have not seen that show, you guys should check that show out. It is awesome. It's great. I absolutely love the show. I think it's great that we have something like this. Yeah, it's I think it's awesome. I'm glad that I got to watch it again. But you know, only time could tell. Let's see what happens. In the back of my head, I'm like, are they going to announce something during Clayface? Because Clayface looks like a movie that's aesthetically belonging to the Batman universe. Does not look like it belongs in anything that James Gunn is doing. And yeah, I don't know. I'm all for a good old fashioned body horror movie. But I watched the trailer, and I'm not gonna lie. The second trailer, I was like, oh. That first trailer was much better, but the second trailer, yeeks. Yeah. Don't know if I'm going to catch it on the first day or something like that. It's like something I can watch 2 days after its release. I'm not entertainment, and I'm not part of the schmoes. I'm not gonna, I don't need to have the review first, So, but you'll get it. So that's all that matters. All right, folks. Something we got to talk about Marvel and Hall H because that's the last topic that we got to discuss here. Before I go, how many of y'all watched the Hall H panel on YouTube? Huh? How many of y'all did? Huh? Any of you? The people that are not even in front of me. Listen, I enjoyed. God, it got really fucking dark in here. I just saw myself on the camera here. It was pretty fucking dark. Anyway, hey, well, you know what? If you don't like brightness and you got your lights dimmed out, this works out for us, right? It's intimate. It's nice and intimate. Hey, let's fucking. You know what? Let's kick back. How are you today? So the Marvel Hall H panel happened, and this past weekend, Saturday, and it was very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. Yeah, I know a lot of you are probably like, "What, bro? They showed Adventure Doomsday trailer." Okay, listen. First thing the first thing that they announced. My mouth is like, I'm ready for a stroke. The first thing that they announced, I think it was Ghost Rider. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, great, awesome, fucking can't wait. I'm for it. Let's go. Ryan Gosling is Johnny Blaze. Let's do it. I hope it's Johnny Blaze, but let's do it. And then they said directed by Sean Levy, and I went, what? Okay, yeah, because that guy has a lot of history on horror movies. Listen, Sean Levy. There is no fake outrage for Sean Levy. No, the outrage is real. Let me tell you why. It's not that we hate the guy. He could be a great guy personality wise, great, awesome. I'm just talking about his professional career. He has no style. He's styleless. The guy doesn't have style. He just makes movies, people moving, things in motion, story kind of happening. Okay, cool. Things are moving, and that's what it is. He directed Stranger Things, and he directed the Stranger Things that were not that great. He did Free Guy, Deadpool, Wolverine. Let me pull up his resume to make everyone feel uncomfortable. Movie database. Sean Levy, and the guy looks like the fucking Joker, Jack Nicholson's Joker. I don't know what's up with that fucking, that guy. Here we go. Sean Levy. All right, so let's see here. All right, let's check out his resume. The Atom Project sucked. Free Guy sucked. Arrival, that was okay. Deadpool and Wolverine, it was all right. Yep, he did Stranger Things. He was the executive producer. I mean, he did some episodes of Stranger Things, and yeah, I suppose. But there's nothing in his resume that makes me go, "Oh man, this is the guy. He needs to direct Ghost Rider." I know that he directed a Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling, and look, that movie needs to be a hit. But if anything, The Mandalorian and Grogu got saved by Supergirl this year because that movie was like, holy shit. But anyway, sorry, I have to adjust myself here. Here, let me get this. Ooh, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. All right. Wow, it's getting really fucking dark in here. Wow, this is crazy. Can you guys still see me? Can you guys still see me? Am I gone? You know, there's like YouTubers who like worry about their lighting. Like when it gets to this point, they're always like, "Oh man, fuck, I don't know, we gotta cancel it." Oh, can you guys still see me? Can you guys still see me? These guys think they're fucking Entertainment Tonight and shit. Dude, it's like you're a YouTuber. That's the whole point. Is to have fun. Whoa! Did you see that? What's this? What the fuck happened here? Hold on. Let me try. Better. Better. Crazy. All it was just one switch. One switch to rule them all. All right. So, where were we? Oh, yeah. Marvel. So, Ghost Rider, starring Ryan Gosling, directed by Sean Levy. All right, fine. I would have rather have a horror director or perhaps Sam Raimi to come in and do this kind of film. But whatever. I'm happy. I'm happy that we're getting Ryan Gosling. I got to give props to Disney Marvel. It's not a black lesbian. So we can actually get on board with this. Comes out, I think, in 2028, along with Black Panther 3, which in this announcement, which was the this is how funny Hall H is, okay? Black Panther 3 was the last announcement. Like, oh, we're saving the best for last. No one gives a fuck about Black Panther 3, okay? Especially after the second film, which was atrocious. You coming off the first film, which was pretty damn good, but the best version of Black Panther was in Captain America Civil War, his introduction, watching his father get killed, and then him having to, you know, go after Baron Zemo, wanting revenge and then realizing that that's not what he really wants. Doesn't want to, live that life. So I loved it. I loved him in that film. And then his first movie, a lot of people knocked it. I liked it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty damn good for what they were trying to do. It was a good introduction to a Black Panther series. But unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed away. Uh, fuck cancer. So unfortunately, that took his life, but they didn't recast him. Instead, they capitalized off of his death and they integrated that into the second film to get people to pay up their tickets with their tears. And that I thought was a fucked up motive. I think it was very manipulative. And the movie was shit. All right. You introduced Namor, Submariner, and it was anything but Namor. So you fucked that up. And then you decided to take Shuri and make her into the Black Panther, which is stupid. Like, dumb. I'm pretty sure the actress was pretty okay with it. It's a fat paycheck, and you get to star in a movie, in a Marvel movie. But us customers, people who are fans, the people who love this shit, thought it was pretty fucking stupid. So with Black Panther 3, this should have been like the decision for 2, but they know they fucked up. So they cast oh man, what's his name? I am so unprepared. It's great. But I want to say his name is um it's going to have oh no. I put in Black Panther 3 and it's like, "No, you love Wakanda forever." No, I don't. The movie was absolute shit. New Black Panther actor. There, I could have just done that. David Johnson from Alien Romulus. Um, okay, okay, cool. But he's playing T'Challa's son, which I was like, of course, of course, of course. I'm sure they will explain the time jump because in the second film he's a kid. In this one, apparently he's an adult. I'm pretty sure Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars, time jump, multiverse bullshit is going to have some sort of play why he's older now um, in this third film. Listen, he's good. I like him. I think he's a good actor. I think that he does deliver. I liked him in Alien Romulus. Didn't like the movie that much, but I thought he was okay in it. I know that there's a movie on HBO called The Long Walk, if, if I'm not mistaken. I heard he's good in that. I haven't seen it, so I will try to check that out. But I do like him as an actor. I think he's good. I hope that this movie doesn't suffer from all of the culture shit. Let's just make a badass movie here and not make it about anything else. They're not releasing it in February, so that's a good start. Comes out in December, so it's going to be a Christmas movie, and that's pretty cool. I like that. Just give us a great film. Ryan Coogler can be great. It's when he's trying to tell you something is when he's not. Okay, so I saw Sinners. It was okay. It was all right. A lot of people hate it when you compare it from Dusk Till Dawn. They're all like, "What? What? What?" Like I had a boss when I mentioned Sinners is a good horror movie. He like stopped and looked up and went, "You think Sinners is a horror movie?" Yeah, I know your girlfriend's fucking black, dude. You don't have to virtue signal. All right, we're talking about a movie here. All right, we're not trying to get into some racial discussions and shit. Okay, I get it. All right, but let's just call it what it is. It's kind of a fucking boring movie. All right, up until the very end, and then when the ending happens, there's so many fucking idiots in that scene. It's just dumb. And then people are like, "Oh, when the music starts and shit," and it's like, "Oh, I feel it in my bones and shit." And it's mostly white people that are describing this shit, like my sister-in-law. Loves this movie so much. She was describing it like, "Oh my god, it's this thing," and then the culture of the fucking, and then when the music comes in at the end, and it's like, you know what? That's great. Just like the other guy, I won't even trust you with directions to the fucking bathroom. Okay, so we'll just call it what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of retards that like Sinners for the wrong reasons. I liked Sinners because it was actually fun, engaging, but it's not a movie I want to go back and watch again. I'd rather watch From Dusk Till Dawn, which is a much better film. And it's not trying to tell you anything. It's just having a great time. There's vampires, there's liquor, there's fire. Fucking let's go. And Sinners, you've got vampires, you've got blood, you've got liquor and sand and culture. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. Look, Ryan Coogler can make any movie he wants, but if me, the paying customer, doesn't really connect with it like that, then that's not my fault. So apparently, you made a movie for a certain type of audience, but you made a movie for everyone. A lot of people loved, but then there's also people that are trying to make that movie into something that it's not, and it just doesn't work. So drop it. So anyway, Ryan Coogler, Black Panther 3. Can't wait. Would like to see it. Actually, I can wait because it's not a movie that I was looking forward to seeing. That's just the most popular thing to say after announcing something like that, like all of you YouTubers out there. But um, okay, cool, great. You know what I think is going to be weird though is that you're going to now. This is like them um, continuing T'Challa's story without T'Challa. So it's like now you're going to actually take this character, T'Challa's son, and you're going to have him do all the things T'Challa did in the comic books, like hanging out with Storm. We would have loved to see Chadwick Boseman hang out with whoever's going to play Storm or Halle Berry, in an MCU movie. But we won't because they made Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. And that ruined everything. So with Black Panther 3, I feel like this is like their chance to go back and have a redo of sorts. And this character is now going to live the life T'Challa lived in the comics. See what I'm saying? It's kind of weird, but whatever. Here we are. So, and of course, the big major announcement at Hall H was X-Men. No X-Men announcements. No X-Men announcements. There was so many idiots online. Here, we're gonna whoop, um that were like, "Oh, Hall H was exceptional. It was great. The best ever. The best ever." the best ever. Not introducing X-Men was a smart move, guys. Smart move. These fucking idiots with their talking points. Smart move, not placing the X-Men. Smart move. Smart move, Feige. Kevin Feige is my lord. Yo, there was a time where all these like fucking movie idiots like John Campea and shit were all calling like my lord and savior Kevin Feige, Lord and Savior Bob Iger. Like they were really like idolizing these fuckers because they were like so amazing at everything. And now their tune has changed to let's ignore everything that happened and let's just move on. No, 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 Campia. No, I don't think so. We all remember the time you gave your Transformers review and you said the N-word like it was nothing. As fuck, it's like it's nothing. It was just like, whoa, it's shit. you could, you know what? You could check that out here.
The twins are two hood niggas.
It's great. I love it. It's just it's the best. It's great. So when he goes on his little rants about racism and all this stuff, like his disingenuous bullshit thing about the Odyssey, which was done on a chat GPT scripted because you could see his fucking eyes doing this the entire video. What a fucking moron, dude. For as smart as this guy tries to make him look like, like he comes off like he's like, oh, I was a lawyer, or I worked at a lawyer's office and shit like that. Like, dude, you are fucking stupid. You are disingenuous and stupid. Like, how the fuck does your wife even look at you and go, man, you're the realest, most motherfucking realest person I've ever known, John? Like, honestly, dude. And if that sounded too fucking like crossing the line, well, that was the point. I don't ever want to talk to that dude. Fucking weirdo who just happens to like movies and pretends that he knows people who are going to cast the Batman. Then all of a sudden, oh shit, I don't think this movie's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think this movie's gonna happen. Guy's full of shit, man. Guy's full of shit. Full of shit. But I'm glad that other people out there, like he's so unaware that a lot of people don't like him, and he's gonna come off and say, "I don't care." But that's not true because it's like one of those things when you get in your car and you're like, "Fuck, I should have done that instead." Now nobody likes me driving back home and shit. Um, so yeah, you could tell he cares because of what he does on his channel, like the amount of updates and shit. It's like, dude, you're John Campea. You've got a following. You could just put out a video without a thumbnail and it's just a thumbnail of you in the middle of your video doing this, like like moving fast, that thing, that people do, like, yeah, you could do that, and nobody would care. They would still click on your shit and listen to you. But the amount of things that you do to you have an image issue, and it clearly shows in real time. You can tell me to go fuck myself or whatever all you want, and say, oh, whatever. This guy doesn't know shit. Whatever. Yeah, you're right. Whatever. Because I know something you don't. Anyway, so what were we talking about here? Oh yeah, Marvel. Um Marvel, the Marvel panel at Comic-Con at Hall H. Hall H. Um yeah. Yeah. The Avengers Doomsday panel. There was no X-Men announcement because Marvel fucking sucks and they never planned shit. Um they announced well, they didn't really announce it. They just showed a trailer for the people at the San Diego Comic-Con. And it was a trailer. I saw little pieces of the trailer as best I could from a cell phone that was all shitty. I know someone that went there and I got his video. Apparently they weren't really looking at phones or being strict with phones at all. I would post this video here because it's a much clearer version. Like this motherfucker literally had his phone like this and film the fucking thing. It's great. I could show it's in this little baby right here. However, I'm not going to because I do care about my channel, and for you guys out there who don't want me to be an asshole and spoil it, I'm not going to do that. However, if you want it to be sent to you, I can perhaps arrange that, but that's a big maybe, but most likely. So I just didn't think about that just till now, till talking to you guys about it. It's a very this is the trailer that should have come out first to the public. The CinemaCon trailer was that trailer that they showed earlier last week. It's fine. It's great. It's cool. Like I said, I talked about it. I have that video, so you can check that out on my reaction to it. But this is the trailer, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh man, I'm waiting for this movie now." No. Remember, folks, I have a video where I talk about the entire movie from beginning to the very last shot. Okay, the trailer that came out last week legitimized those leaks for the most part. This trailer that that came out at Comic-Con legitimized it even more. It's a great trailer. It's edited very well. But this movie is still going to be weak. Weak as fuck. And it's crazy when I see these people talking about like, what do you think my score is going to be for Avengers Doomsday when I walk out of the theater? I'm sitting there going like, oh my God. Like me and a handful of people read the leaks. These people haven't, obviously. It's hard for me to be super excited for this film. And I'm not regretting that I read the leaks or anything like that. I don't really care. Because one thing is reading about it, and then another thing is actually seeing it come to fruition. And you're like, whoa, this is different. It's what I read, but this is so much better. And I didn't, it's completely different. And that's a great thing. With this movie, it's going to be kind of like, it's just kind of shit. It's unfortunately the X-Men are back in this movie, but not in the fashion that I wish that they were in. A lot of people talked shit on Mystique's look and everything, whereas I was the one in the minority. Like, I like it. I like it. Not everything is like, oh my God, this is what happens when you have lesbians take over. Okay, it was the Russo brothers, for one, who are directing this. I don't like woke shit either, but this there's nothing about Mystique that's woke. That's what she looks like in the comic books. I mean, the suit looks very plain and generic. Show off her real shoulders. That would be cool. Other than that, it's the white outfit. They're covering her up, not because feminism. That's what she looked like in that fucking comics. People are retarded, and people can be retarded, especially when they're uneducated about things. Anyway, so the Avengers Doomsday panel was very underwhelming. Besides the trailer, you had everyone up there. They didn't do shit. Robert Downey Jr. was the only one that was talking. And then Ryan Reynolds dressed as Deadpool, dressed up in jeans, calling him Gene Pool. That was fun, but talk about announcing yourself into a movie without announcing that you're in the movie by giving people the illusion like you were too late for the party. And then the first thing you see when Doomsday opens up is possibly Deadpool. I just spoiled a little thing for you, but I don't fucking care right now. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but I will say that Deadpool could possibly be in the movie. And so is Wolverine. But hey, listen, that's besides the point. There really wasn't shit at Hall H except just a big spectacle thing for Avengers Doomsday. A lot of green, a lot of actors showing up, but not really a lot of talking. No insight about what the movie really is about. Nobody talked about how much they love their characters. Nothing. It was just bleh. And this is the shit that some people are like, oh man, exceptional work, guys, blah, blah, blah. Fuck out of here, dude. You're probably a struggling actor who wants more work, so you're going to say the right thing online for them to see so that you give the illusion like you're this big supporter company man. Fuck you. Anyway. That's it for me for today and for this episode. I still haven't even titled this episode what this show should be called. I think it should just be called the Untitled Pop Culture Show, starring Josh Quevedo. It's been a wild week. Not just because of this, just me personally. Lots of things, good things, not bad things, just good things, and just regular things. Um, it's just an amount of things just being piled up. So I'm climbing to achieve that goal, and I'm there. I'm getting there. Just don't worry. I will get there. But very much like a lot of you, I work. I don't make money off of YouTube, at least not anymore. I don't pay my bills using this like some people do who worked really hard to get there. So congratulations on you guys doing so. I did it, and you never know, could happen again. But I'm enjoying the things that I have in my life aside from doing all of this stuff. So that takes up a lot of my time. So when I do this because it's a hobby and I enjoy it. I'm not looking to gain any free access. I'm not looking to gain any stardom or anything like that. I just love doing this and being honest with you folks out there. So I've got nothing to lose, nor do I have really anything to gain yet. So I just do this because I love to interact with you guys. And like I said, it's something that I can do and talk about here instead of a regular conversation setting. So, in other words, instead of being around a round table of friends and stuff, I'm not going to sit there and talk about why I think, um, the Marvel Hall H panel was utter shit for 10 minutes. So I could do that here with you folks. And when you guys message me on X, Twitter, whatever you want, I still call it Twitter. When you guys message me on my social media and stuff like that, I think it's great. Don't ever feel like you're bothering me. I keep getting a lot of like, sorry to bother you, this and that, guys. You guys are not bothering. I think it's very flattering and it's awesome that I get to have these discussions with you. So yeah, and sometimes you guys bring up things that I was very unaware of. So I'd like to bring that into my next video, if I can remember. So, but anyway, so yeah, so go ahead and subscribe because it's free and I'm honest. So there's free honesty for you guys when it comes to this shit. So anyway. I'm out of here, folks. I am done. I'm ready to peace out. Peace out. And call it a day. But I will be back later this week, of course. I will have more stuff coming out for you guys. But until then, I'm out. Peace.